International real estate. My definition of international real estate is any transaction that you're involved in that may deal with either properties that are located outside the U.S. or buyers and or sellers that are located outside the U.S. even if the property is located in the U.S. So you're dealing in some capacity on an international level. Working with international buyers, I would say that the biggest pitfall is probably the cultural nuances and understanding how different cultures in different countries negotiate contracts and how they look at relationship building, how they define what they believe is a deal. You may believe a deal is when something is signed. They may believe a deal doesn't really happen until it goes to record. So there's different business practices that we may find unacceptable that's very acceptable in other countries. Not illegal, just a different way of doing business. And I think that in terms of building relationships, the most important is understanding how to meet and greet somebody and how those first 5 minutes can literally make or break your ability to conduct business with someone down the road. So adding international real estate to your business, it's not, in my opinion, something that most people are going to turn into their core business. So it may be a situation where you represent a house and the buyer may be from another country. It could be a case where you get a phone call and it is somebody from another country who's moving into the greater Boston area or somewhere else in Massachusetts and they need some help. So I look at international real estate to a certain degree as a supplement to your core business. There are some people that just do international work and they focus on it. And there are different venues out there that are available to you from international real estate associations. So that's a great way of leading into getting some relationships through some conventions. There's one known as the as MIPIM. There's another one known as FIOPSI. MAR actually has an international council that you can get involved in and become a member and start dealing with people that are international, understanding how international banks lend and how their underwriting may be different from the U.S. So you really have to start getting involved, taking the courses, knowing there are organizations out there that specialize in brokers doing international business. One other thing that brokers in the United States should be just aware of is that if you get a referral from another broker from another country, just remember that even as a referral, they have to go through someone in this state or another state that has a license. And number two, compensation is very different from other parts of the world compared to the United States. In some cases, brokers are paid even if a deal or a transaction is not completed. In Europe, you cannot work with a buyer or a seller or a tenant and landlord unless you have a written agreement and the buyer and or seller pays their own broker. So there isn't sub-agency in sub-countries. There's no such thing as no agency, or some people call it open agency. It doesn't exist. You can't run around with someone without a contract. In some cases, you get paid just on the signing of a purchase and sale agreement. In other countries, you get paid entirely on the purchase and sale. You get some of it on the final execution of the document. So there's different ways, and you just need to be aware of that because another broker may be asking for a check when you're only at the purchase agreement stage or letter of intent stage. So there are just different ways that people are compensated. Some are paid commission and some are actually paid on a fixed fee basis.